gaped wide open. My brother was quick to blurt out what we'd all been secretly thinking. But with you gone, we'll all starve. To my family, the month of March means three things. My dad's birthday, my birthday, and my grandma's birthday. My dad's birthday means a new tie. My birthday means 3 pints of sorbet in the fridge. And my grandma's birthday means my mother's annual trip to Taiwan. As with most things, the first trip was most definitely the worst. I was 12 years old, and for the past 12 years had lived on my mother's Chinese food. Although my mother tried to console me by saying that the trip was just for 3 weeks, my 12-year-old self was convinced that my mother's trip to Taiwan was anything but just 3 weeks. 3 weeks was 63 whole meals, not even including the oh-so-vital after-school and late-night snacks. My mother, however, was fully confident that she could teach my father how to cook before she left. Oh, how naive we all were to think that my father could actually learn how to cook in 2 measly weeks. It was the little details that he always seemed to get wrong, and those little details resulted in mushy rice, raw chicken, and crunchy noodles. With each failed attempt, you could see the pain in my mother's eyes as my father proceeded to butcher each of her prized family recipes. After a couple of days, my mother was all out of ideas. Setting aside her book of Chinese recipes, she relented to the fact that my father just could not master her ethnic dishes. Oven-roasted potatoes. You can make potatoes, right? It really doesn't get any easier than that. With just 4 ingredients to the dish, it seemed that this recipe was infallible. When the first batch of oven-roasted potatoes came out edible, you could hear the angel singing from above as my father flashed a cheeky grin. The rest of us just took a huge sigh of relief. As Claxton notes, the coming of the potato liberated the masses from age-old hunger. For years, the principal food of my family was rice. It was, after all, the principal food that my parents had grown up eating. Mervyn Claxton notes that most civilizations have been built on the cultivation of one staple food crop. People often do not feel satisfied if their principal meal does not involve a product of the traditional staple food. For that month, however, though not of our choice, we learned to be flexible with the principal food being potatoes. We lived off potatoes. Halford says, familiar foods can put people in touch with a crystalline memory of their past. It brings comfort. Oven-roasted potatoes are clearly associated with the memories of my mother's first trip to Taiwan. The meaning of food describes that food plays a large part in defining family roles and traditions. The role of the family cook was definitely for my mother alone. Furthermore, oven-roasted potatoes are my reminder of the values of my parents, values that they've taught to their children as well. Grandma's birthday was an extremely important occasion in a culture that values respect for elders, and in an odd way, oven-roasted potatoes became a reminder of that. As much as my stomach begged to differ, I learned that family always came before food. Since then, we've continued to watch my mother leave each March for my grandma's birthday. Thankfully, though, my father has become a considerably better cook.